All right, welcome back once again to the eighth session of our business planning workshop. In the previous sessions, we have looked at the executive summary, we have looked at business description, we have looked at market analysis, we have looked at organization and management, we have looked at product and service description, then we have looked at also marketing and sales strategy in the last session. Now, in this session, we are going to look at the operational plan, business plan or startup plan, right? Uh, don't forget that we are doing this to help you develop your business plan. By now, your business plan should be, if you have been following the videos, have been following our leads and the resources we have provided in this workshop, you will have been, you have written your business up to maybe chapter 6, and this will be the chapter 7, right, of your business plan, or session 7, as you may like to title them, just anyhow you want to, structure your business plan. So now we are in chapter 7, and the chapter 7 is what? Operational plan, or session 7 is we are going to look at the operational plan. Now, what is the operational plan? In the operational plan, you are going to provide a detailed description of how your business is going to be running its activities from day to day efficiently, the day-to-day activities of your business. How it's going to move, what are you going to operate, when do you open, when do you close, what do you do between the hours you opens and the hours you close, who does what at what time, is what does and what is not done, right? So now let us look at the step-by-step process by which you can develop this. Again, this is also divided into some sub-sessions. It's divided into a total of about 8 sessions, right? Yeah, 8 sessions. This is very, very important because this deals with what happens to your business from day one on daily basis. Now, the first thing you want to do is to do what we call business location and facilities overview. What is the location of the business? So, you want to provide the details about your physical location, including the size, the layout, and the suitability of the location where you find yourself. So, where is the business going to be located, or where is it located? What is the advantage of that location? We want to explain the advantage of that location, and is this suitable for your objectives? Is this suitable for the business? Is this suitable for your client? Then secondly, in this session, in this first part, you also want to mention any special facilities or equipment that you have. Very, very important. Do you have some equipment? Some equipment. The reason why it is important for you to mention this equipment and their compatibility with you business, especially as regard location, is that not all kinds of business can be located anywhere, right? If your business requires noise, machines that makes a lot of noise, there are certain locations you need to be, there are certain places you need to be. If you're running something like poultry, you understand, you cannot be in a residential area, cannot be in a market area where everywhere there are a lot of noise, people are coming in and out and all that. So you need to be in a serene environment. So this is why it is important to look at your objectives and then plan the location of your business. You can do this in a paragraph or in 2 paragraphs. If you are done with this, then you move to the next session. The next session is what? Daily operations. Explain the activity that is involved in running your business on a daily basis. Production, customer service, delivery. What are the things your business will be doing on a daily basis? You understand? So you need to detail the things that your business will be doing. You can put them in serial number and then explain number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, you understand? And then explain them. Very, very important. It is important that you mention them. Then also include operational hours. How many hours will it take delivery? So that now the reason it is important for you to plan your operational hours is so that when you are communicating with a client, when a client is placing order, you're able to tell that client when you will be able to deliver. But if you don't plan your operational hours, you will not know. A client can place an order, then you will tell him you will deliver tomorrow. Then that tomorrow you realize that you have not delivered, you have not been able to meet the orders from the day before yesterday or from the day before. So you have to meet those orders first. But you have already promised a client, and that client is expecting you, then you disappoint the client. No matter how top-notch your product is, if you start having these issues, failure, delivery failures, people are going to run and leave you. Because somebody have made plans and say, okay, this guy says he's going to deliver this thing today, so by 3 p.m. it will be on ground for us to do this work. And then you ended up not even delivering that day, and sometimes even the next day you have not delivered. Right? So you need to plan your operational hours so that you know what is achievable at what day, at what time, and at what day. Very, very important. Next, if you have done this, then we move to the third session. The third session has to do with what? Supply chain and vendors. Supply chain and vendors. Here, you want to describe how you source your raw materials or your product. If you are in trading, you buy product and sell the product. Where do you buy from? Who supplies you the product? You understand? Then if you are in production, where do you get your raw materials from? How do you make sure that those who are supplying you the raw materials will not disappoint? Very, very important. What are the strategies you put in place to make sure that they don't disappoint you? Very, very critical, right? Include details about your key suppliers and partnerships. It is important as a business person you have relationship with your vendors, you have relationship with your suppliers, whether they are supplying raw materials or they are supplying you semi-finished goods or they are supplying you finished goods. You need to have a robust relationship with them. Sometimes you can even take it up to the point of partnership, right? Where you make deal with them to let them know that on a monthly basis you require so number of raw materials from them, require so number of materials or product from them. That means on a monthly basis they know that they are going to supply you this material irrespective of what may come, right? So when you want to get serious with business, this is what you know. And these things are things that you can do with your business plan. When you sit down to develop your business plan, you know that okay, in regard of this particular raw material, this particular raw material is not a raw material I can just walk into the market and buy. It's not something I can just stand up today and place a call and say supply me and they will supply me, because it's something that requires time. So you go into partnership with your vendor and let your vendor know that okay, on a monthly basis I need so quantity of this raw material. So I want you to work towards it and make sure that on a monthly basis you're able to supply me this. On the first of every month, make sure you're able to supply me this quantity. You understand? So this is what this session of your business plan entails, right? Very, very important. So if you have done this, then the next thing you need to do is what we call your staffing plan. List the roles and responsibilities of your employees. We have mentioned something similar under organization and management, right? But again, we are bringing it here again because here we are now practically looking now. If somebody who have read about your staffing plan in organization and management, once the person comes here, the person may have to now go back and look at your staffing to know if your staffing is able to handle this operational plan that you have drafted. So instead of allowing the person to be scrolling back, just put it here for the person, and putting it here for the person also have some benefits to you as a person, right? So you want to mention their shifts if they are on shift. You want to mention their training programs, their performance management strategies. How do you rate their performance? How do you measure their performance? How do you know who is performing and who is not performing, right? Now that is very, very important. Now, once you are done with your staffing plan, the next thing you need to do is what? Is the fifth session, which has to do with your production or service delivery processes. You need to plan your production or service delivery processes. Explain the process involved in producing goods or delivering your services. How are you going to produce it? Stage 1, stage 2, process 1, process 2, process 2. Okay, so you need to detail your production process. Detailing your production process helps you to manage your quality assurance, right? Quality control. You must have heard about quality control and assurance. Quality control and assurance enables you to be able to ensure that the quality of your business remains the same. The quality of your product remains the same, irrespective of the person who is in charge of production. So you can have today in the morning you can have Mr. A overseeing production. Then in the afternoon there is a shift. Mr. B is coming in. So you don't want a situation whereby the quality of the product will reduce once Mr. B comes in because Mr. A have exited. So you want to have processes slated out, quantities of what goes into what and how it goes into it and at what time it goes into it, right? So you want to have all these things clearly what highlighted. Then your unique methods, your quality assurance measures. What are the measures you are going to put in place to ensure that the quality that will come out is still the same? And then the technology that is involved. What are the technologies that we use to ensure that the quality does not reduce? Right? Somebody will not buy two products from you. One is tasting good, the other one is substandard. One is up to standard, the other one is not up to standard. You don't want that type of that type of thinking in your business life cycle. Then the next is your inventory and equipment. Describe how you will manage your inventory, tracking your supply and your replacing your supply, your inventories. If they are supply you goods, right? How are you going to track your inventories? What goes into the store? What goes into the shelf? What is sold? You need to have a system that track it, and you need to explain the system you are going to use, the strategy you are going to use to track your inventories. Your investors will particularly want to know, and even you yourself, you want to know, you want to be able to come up with a robust system that you can use to track your inventories. Why? If you are unable to track your inventories, you create a loophole that your employers, your unsincere employers can leverage and explore. You understand? So you want to be able to put up that system. The next include key equipment or tools necessary for operation. You want to include some tools, some equipments or tools that are necessary for operation. List them and so that you yourself you have an insight into the tools you need, whether it is a software, whether it is it's an application, it is a laptop, it is a phone, whatever it is that you want to use to track your inventories. You want to make sure that you put these things there. The next is operational goals. Now you want to state some measurable objectives for your operational efficiency. That is very, very important. For example, I want to put systems in place that ensure that there is waste management, right? Improving delivery times. Just to make sure that your deliveries does not exceed the time, right? There are going to be times when there are so much demand than anticipated, right? You need to be able to put measures in place that helps you to fast track, to manage those type of situations where you have deliveries or you have orders that are beyond your capacity. Maybe you want to outsource it, you want to outsource the delivery and all that. So you need to put some operational goals in place, right? And set some objectives to ensure that there is always, at every point in time, there's operational efficiency. Then number 8, and which is the last one, is what we call your contingency plan. Your contingency plan is that, just as I mentioned just now, there are times when where your vendors will fail you, your delivery process will become slow because of high demand, and all of that. Things are going to crop up, issues are going to come up. So you need to be able to, develop system, put up a contingency plan that will help you to manage all of this. Don't forget that all that we have been discussing in this session is the operation, the seventh chapter or seventh session of your business plan, which has to do with operational plan. All right, thank you very much for joining us today. Don't forget to check out the resource we have for you. We have a post for you where you can access a classic example of what your operational plan should look like. Follow that example, then there is also a step-by-step process for you to follow, to develop your own. So please make sure you access that material and develop your operational plan today. But then I want to know if you'll be willing to develop your operational plan today. So please put it in the comment section if you know you are going to develop your operational plan today. Thank you very much. See you in the next session. The next session is going to be the last session. I'm sure you don't want to miss it. And we are going to be discussing about financial plan, one of the most critical components of every business plan or startup plan. Thank you very much. See you in the next session.